Hello, this is Tug. Welcome back to another update video. This one's going to be a relatively quick update video, just showing you what's going on with Ampleforth 3 so far. So I'm going to give you a comprehensive tour of the entire map pretty much. This Jeep here is actually not going to be part of the final map. I don't know if it will or not, but I just put it here so we can get around easy, me and my buddy. So ignore that trash can. This is Ampleforth 3, and this is a very early version of it. Still heavily a work in progress, so it's going to seem very barren. But we do have most of the vegetation done, and all of the major locations have their main point or building or whatever you want to call it. And so mainly what we're missing here are a lot of filler models like trucks and vehicles. So far I've filled in some of these smaller models like the more generic ones like tires and boxes. You'll see later I have pallets. But anyway, let's go ahead and get out of here and get on the move so we can show you around. Harvey's Gas and Auto. Yes, most of the places are going to have actual names and designs for their logos and stuff. So we're in the lower part of the map right now. I mean, the design follows the layout of the other two Ampleforths pretty similarly, but it's much larger and much more spread out. We're coming up on Breezy's Grocery here. It's misspelled. I need to fix that sign still. I haven't. I'm sorry, Breezy. It needs an extra E between the Z and the Y. And that is a reference to PhD Breezy, by the way. If you don't know him, go check him out. He's a Ravenfield content creator. Anyway, we'll keep going here. Yeah, like I said, we're in the lowlands. It's much flatter. There's a lot more grass out here. And then let's go ahead and take a right. We'll come back to that in just a minute. But very spacious out here. Not a lot of cover. A mixture of, you know, much shorter grass and a little bit of tall grass. Here's the motel, which is a work in progress. But you can go into these rooms, and these are where the spawn points will be. So I'm going for a kind of like overgrown, barren look for all these buildings. And this is honestly the most like open I've been about any of my projects before, because typically I don't show off the projects until they're at least like 3/4 of the way done, you know, and they look pretty presentable. But this right here does not look presentable at all. It looks pretty crappy. But I just figured that, you know, this is a large project and it's taking a long time, and I just want to show you that progress is being made, and I'm still trying to get to that October release date and make it on time for that. This is the train station, and there will be train cars along this railroad here, which, by the way, the railroad covers the entire map, as you can see on the mini map here. And this railroad is actually one model. I was able to achieve that by using the array modifier on a model and then having that wrap along a Bezier curve in Blender. And that right there had to be manually made, that little split in the rail there. But you can follow it along the map horizontally, so you can get pretty much anywhere if you follow this thing. But we're not going to. We're going to stay on the road because I want you to see the map so far as it is, and how you'll be playing it. I mean, but you could be following the railroad if you're playing it for real if you want. This bridge right here is a placeholder. We're getting over into the more foresty and mountain area of the map. By the way, you'll be seeing a lot of these lampposts. I should have mentioned this earlier, but these lampposts are here because there will be a nighttime version of the map that will ship out. And it won't just be the night mode that you can switch on in the instant action menu, but there will actually be a separate map file for nighttime, just because there's more than just the lighting that I want to change for the nighttime version, and so that requires making a whole new map file and putting that on the workshop separately. But this is the forest, and if we go along the road here, we're actually coming up on the trailhead, and these are probably the two closest capture points. So if you have the trailhead, then you should be able to get the forest pretty easily, and if you don't, you probably suck. The trailhead has this little pavilion, and there's going to be a sign there on this nice little trailhead sign. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with how everything is turning out, but again, it is very barren, and I spent a lot of the past couple weeks just getting all the terrain and vegetation done right, because that is what is most time consuming, honestly. I mean, the models, yeah, they're their own thing, but making sure that the terrain is absolutely perfect for all these models. We're coming up on the warehouses, and this is one of my favorite locations. I don't know why, just because of the way it looks, and you can see some of the more generic models in here. You know, we got the barrels, probably need to get some different colors, and pallets also. And yeah, again, I was just trying to get the sizing right, and I hopefully have done a good job of that, so that way, you know, gameplay with these assets will be nice, and you know, they won't be oversized or undersized. You know, they're providing cover, but they're not too big. All right, let's keep moving, and we come to a fork in the road. We're gonna we're gonna skip that, don't look over there. We're gonna go to the pharmacy first. We're getting into more mountainous terrain. Yeah, so this whole upper half, or it's the lower half on the mini map, but it technically is like the upper half elevation wise. It is much more elevated up here than it is down near the gas station where we started. This is the pharmacy. I have some weird visual problems going on with the walls here. I may cover that up with some assets. Yeah, I don't have any assets in here yet, but there's going to be shells and drugs and all that fun stuff. I need to work on that sign also. And then that road goes to the end of the map. You can follow it if you want, but it won't get you anywhere. And another reason that the terrain has been taking so long is that I want the terrain to be a form of cover also for, you know, if you're moving on foot. And actually here, whenever you see a patch of bushes like these actually have AI occluders built into them. And so what that means is basically it's the same thing as a smoke grenade. So smoke grenades have a tag on the objects that they emit that basically says the AI can't see through them. That's how the smoke grenades work. And these bushes have the same thing attached to them. So if you're trying to stay stealthy and you're moving through the highlands over here, you know, and you come across a patch of bushes, well, this can be a good sniping point because the AI won't be able to see you if you're crouching or going prone. And I've only been able to test that in limited environments so far, so I don't know how that'll play out in large-scale battles and how much of a difference it'll actually make. So I'll just have to get some testers to test that out, and hopefully it works. And then we're coming up on, I would say, what is like the defining capture point for all the Ampleforth maps. I mean, you know, each one has this iconic water tower, at least that's what I try to make it, with the welcome to Ampleforth sign on the top here, and you can actually climb up this ladder here. I think it's positioned weirdly, it's kind of far off. I need to fix that. So yeah, you can get up here and you can snipe from this point also, and you can get a pretty good view of the rest of the map from here. Oh, he's falling. Oh, I fell too. And this is the contested spawn point in here, this little bathroom. You know, this is different from all my other maps where I'm just coming back to it after working on it a little bit at a time, like a little bit this week, a little bit next week, and I find myself working on little different things and not really following a very consistent pattern of like what I'm working on. And you know, I think that's good to some extent because I'm coming back each week with new motivation to work on the really tiny specific details in just one area, and then I'm doing that over and over again instead of working on the whole thing overall. And so some areas just like look much more detailed than any of my other maps, and that's really what I'm going for. And then of course, like I said before, it's very barren. There's a lot of space in between each capture point, but that's kind of natural. But there will be some structures and cover points besides bushes and besides the terrain. I didn't go to the farmhouses, let me go there, or the barns. There will be some cover points in between each capture point that isn't a flag, that isn't like a major capture point area, and these could be like tents or, you know, broken down cars or things like that. I just want it to feel like a very natural and lived in world, and this is the final point that we haven't visited yet, but here it is. And these are the barns. I don't have any assets in here, but this is a much more of an open location. So vehicle wise, I plan for there to be Jeeps like I'm using now, quads. I actually had a poll in my Discord server to vote for what vehicles were going to be in the map, and you know, originally I said no aircrafts whatsoever because the map was just so flat and there wouldn't be any cover whatsoever for aircrafts, but I'm starting to rethink that, seeing now how mountainous some parts of the map are, and so I'll just have to do some testing again and see how well or how long you can stay alive using an aircraft in this map, because I doubt it'll be that long, but on the ground you should be good with jeeps and quads and stuff, and APC also was another one that got a high number of votes, so I'll be doing that. But yeah, this is your tour of Ampleforth. That is pretty much everything that I've done so far, and really what I'm working on, like I said at the beginning of the video, are just filler models, getting everything filled out to feel like a real world. I gotta do some more texturing on these signs. Some of these locations aren't finished. They're missing assets, they're missing textures, but I'm still confident that we'll be able to hit that October release date. And then yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.